Alright, I've got Shah sir here. Shah sir, how do you feel?
Film Festival.
Oh, wonderful. I love you, sir.
So please sign the film quickly. That is the most important part of this press conference. We are all your fans and we want you to do a film now, literally. I think that's the biggest take home of this press conference.
Alright, I have left my house. We are heading to somewhere special, close to my heart. We work hard, we play hard.
We're off for a big day. It's going to be fun. Hello and welcome to What's Up Oz. My name is Manoj Sukhrani and this is powered by Ziykaa Brunswick. Jao aur khao, lazeez khana hai. They don't just cook, they deliver quality. An iRich app you have to download, shop and you earn every week. लेकिन boss हम लोग यहाँ पे किस लिए हैं? Because it's that time of the year when Bollywood takes over Melbourne. Yes, I'm talking about Indian Film Festival of Melbourne 2019. It's a 10th edition yaar, 10 saal ho gaye unko. And guess what, who's coming here? I'm talking about Shah Rukh Khan, Tabu. I'm talking about Zoya Akhtar, Karan Johar, Arjun Kapoor, Malaika Rock. So many stars. Everybody is going to be here in some time. I'm at the press conference. You will get everything you need to know because we love Bollywood. And it's all for Shah Rukh Khan. That's what I'm talking about.
That's you here. Minister, you're here.
Sir.
Karan.
Thank you for supporting the festival. Strength and all the friends and viewers who've been telling me to come. She's a constituent of mine. She lives on the street. She's fantastic. She's so much fun coming here. We did cultural things. I remember she was talking about starting when I was shooting a long time back. So glad that she's going to have 10th anniversary. Yeah. So Gary's been back in for 8 years. Yeah. She's been on for 2 every dog's an idea. All the people who go from there. Yeah. It's the nicest festival. Very exciting. आप यहाँ होकर no Vijay वगैरह आए हाँ जी सब Vijay दे रहे Bombers like that. What is it? Victor? Vijay Sethupathi. Vijay Sethupathi. There's an amazing
Vijay is We're only waiting on the super deluxe.
Thank you. Thank you. Vijay, यहाँ very keen to meet you. It's very like good night to meet you.
Good afternoon. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today. I'd also like to pay my respects to elders past and present. A very, very warm welcome to you all to the 2019 Indian Film Festival of Melbourne Press Conference. I mean, seriously, does it get any better?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much, Mitu, and thank you, the Indian Film Festival of Melbourne, and everyone related with it, all the people who are curating the films, all the people who are collected here, gathered. And it was many years ago, I think in 2007 or 6, when I came here. I was a rising superstar, making hit films after hit films after hit films, and declared the sexiest man in Asia by my fan club. So I come back here again, still a rising superstar, not making very many hit films after hit films, trying desperately to do so. And irrepressibly sexy still, I think. Thank you very much, all of you. I'm a little worried because I didn't know I was supposed to speak. Normally I would learn this at night. So I don't know what else to say, but a big thank you. And I'm also a little scared, though the topic is courage, the Melbourne Film Festival for Indian films. I'm scared that is each one of us going to be called upon to speak? Then it's a long one. So what I'll do is I'll just thank Mr. Foley and thank everyone for giving us, all of us, this opportunity to be here this afternoon. And when I was coming here, I know Mitu had this dream years ago. We used to sit at home and play games. What was it? Trivial? Trivial person. So when I was shooting here for Chatte, this young lady here, she had this big dream of having a festival for Indian films, which always is so heartening, which always is so encouraging for all of us, because strangely as diverse, as wonderful as the Indian film industry is, but somewhere down the line, the kind of field may have been localized to India. But because of the diaspora, because of the second generation and the third generation, which have settled in Australia, people like Mitu, Indian cinema has been taken all over the world. And it's extremely gratifying, it's extremely happy for me, and also it just makes, I think, every Indian proud that we can be called upon, not only through our cinema, but through our culture, through wonderful actors and actresses and directors and producers who are present on the dais today. And we're honored like this, so we are very happy to be here. It's wonderful to see you. I'm sorry for being a bit late. But actually, Tabu woke up late and we all have to wait for her. I apologize. The whole Indian film industry, on behalf of Tabu, we apologize. So, tardy. This is what all the girls, they come late for the date and they keep saying, I love you, I love you. So thank you once again, you're wonderful. And I love you, and thank you for having us here. Thank you, guys. I didn't know I'm the GPS. Thank you very much.
I just want to share a small thing. When we were filming Chatte India, it was like being with the Beatles. I don't know why Shah Rukh is saying he was an upcoming star, but it was really like being with the Beatles. We were shooting at State Netball Center, which was full all the time. Girls used to come dressed as brides every day, for 45 days, different costume every day. But anyway, and they used to keep giving us food, which production would eat happily. On the last day, Shah Rukh was gone for 2 hours, and he came back with so many presents. And every present, it was not like a photo frame with his picture on it, but every present was thoughtfully picked for every crew member. And he wrote a note on everyone. If someone had ever mentioned to him that they like architecture, it was a book on architecture. If someone had said that they are into herbal medicine, it was a book on herbal medicine. And on every present, there was a personalized note. And he gave that to a crew of almost 35 people, Australian crew, and also the hockey team, which was another 22 girls. Needless to say, you can imagine how thrilled everyone was. And I think it is this beautiful big-heartedness and generosity and thoughtfulness which makes him so loved for so many years, and which is why I think we call him King Khan. And I don't think anybody has a bigger heart. Big supporter of the festival. I'm so thrilled that he's going to be hoisting the flag at our iconic Federation Square on Saturday. And please welcome Karan Johar.
Good afternoon and welcome, I think, to the opening of the Indian Film Festival of Melbourne. I have to start by thanking Mitu. She's really been such a strong force, like right through this festival. And I really believe it's just not the films, it's the people behind the festival that make the festival. So I think it's Mitu and her glorious team that have really made this festival into a resounding success. I'd like to welcome everybody here today. This is such a wonderful, wonderful film festival. Having traveled to various film festivals across the world, you just know when there's a festival with lots of people and then there's a festival with people and a soul and a heart. And this one is just that. It truly has been. When I came here 2 years ago, I realized that I want to come here every year. I'm sorry I couldn't make it last year, but I promised that I will make sure that I come here every year after. And when I see this fantastic panel, and then we say the theme is courage. And I think this panel is so reflective of the glorious courage of our films and the changing face of Indian cinema. This panel represents 3 feature films and many more, but predominantly 3 feature films that are changing the face of Indian cinema and have changed the way we look at cinema and how it's traveled across the globe and will continue to do so. There is Super Deluxe, there is Andhadhun, and there is Gully Boy. All 3 films that have really, really appealed not only to the diaspora, to international audiences across the world, but have really made Indian cinema so very proud. All the filmmakers on this panel, and they truly deserve a huge round of applause, have really transferred the syntax of Indian cinema and taken it to really multiple levels of international brilliance. And then when I look at the acting talent on this panel, and we had 3 of the most outstanding artists from across the world. Of course, we have the cast of Super Deluxe, and I had the privilege of meeting the lead actor in the film, and she's glorious. And then there is the what do I say? The actress that has possibly won more awards than most have. There's Tabu, who's reflective of not only her talent, her luminous beauty. But if you go on to and you just Google Tabu, you will see, I would say, an archive of movies that she's been part of that are such pieces of proud work that really, I believe that she's the strongest artist we have in Indian cinema. We have Vijay Sethupathi, who is such a strong movie star, such a talented artist, and it's such a wonderful, wonderful pleasure to share the same platform with him. Welcome, sir, and it really is an honor to be with you. And what do I say about Shah Rukh Khan? He doesn't only represent sex appeal, but he represents superstardom. In fact, I firmly believe that the term superstardom in the era that I came from, and all of you, I think, belong to, really we understand the term superstardom because of Shah Rukh Khan. He's the one man that I have witnessed right in front of my, in fact, and the reason that I'm even a filmmaker, and he's one of the strongest reasons that I stand tall as a filmmaker, is because of his belief in me. But this is not about me, it's about not only his large heart, his tremendous presence, his aura, and everything that he stands for is truly representative of superstardom. And the fact that he's an outstanding actor is the hugest icing on the cake. So you don't get better than Shah Rukh Khan, and it doesn't get better than the Indian Film Festival of Melbourne. I look forward to a wonderful time ahead, and all the selection of movies is really on point and resonant with the theme of courage. So Mitu, congratulations to you, and may the force of good cinema and spirit always be with you. Thank you.
My question to Shah Rukh and maybe to anybody else is, as more and more people moving towards streaming services, and more people watching cinema on streaming services, how do you see the future of Indian cinema in this context?
I think, there always have
Am I supposed to do this?
Yes, yes. Not
Neeraj, actually I think I'll speak on behalf of everybody here. I think platforms will keep on changing, at least from my childhood, from the advent of television in India to VCR and to DVDs, Laserdiscs, then of course multiplexes itself, single screens slowly becoming less. I think the platforms do two things. One, obviously, they increase the audience. I think the second part that a platform does, especially the streaming services and OTT as they call it, I think it's also introducing a new kind of talent. Otherwise, somewhere down the line, I think cinema or most of the creative services like cinema are a difficult profession to get into. All of us have to try very hard. Some of us, especially someone like me, got very fortunate in changing times, liberalized country, opportunities to work with wonderful directors like Karan and actors like Tabu and here on the dais. I think new platforms, OTT platforms, are going to give opportunity to wonderful new
way of thinking filmmakers too. It's going to become easier. It's going to create a new amount of talent, new kind of storytelling. As a matter of fact, I think OTT is really going to make cinema flourish further, rather than this question that everybody turns around and asks, what do you think the future of cinema is going to be with people not going to the theatres? The concept of theatres will also change. I think it will become more like a long-term theatre. You'll have things like Broadway, and you'll have movies releasing for 6 months in semi or fully amphitheatre, like 4 holographic sense of sound kind of theatre stuff, and there'll be changes in technology. But I think streaming services really, I think, has brought in a new wave of talent which was existing. I think some of us, including the audience, wasn't aware of. So I think it's going to be really wonderful news for different kind of stories, I think.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Neeraj.
So how do you think, what is the mantra to stay relevant in this transient time?
I believe the most important aspect of being relevant is to acknowledge the brilliance of others. It's important to constantly look around you and not just at what the work you're doing. And I think very rarely does that happen. It's important to look around you in this room or anywhere else at any given point of time and just suss out what's going on in the world. Because a lot of times we in the fraternity and in the entertainment industry, we tend to get very insular. We tend to kind of, be locked in a room, sometimes think no end of our own achievements and don't look at others. And you must understand that the times are evolving and constantly evolving all the time. There's new kinds of content, new voices, new energies, new films, new filmmakers. And it's important to watch films just not in your language, but it's important to now understand that there are films made in every language in India itself that you need to see. There are films from Assam and there are films made in Gujarati, there are made films in Marathi, in Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada. It's important to look around. Like I firmly believe that we talk about crossover, but invariably when our films cross, most of the time they're over. But it's important that you look at crossover internally within our country. We have such proud pieces of work that are beautiful, beautiful cinema across our country is making. It's important to kind of keep your ears and eyes open. And I think relevance is about information, it's about acknowledgement, and it's about just understanding just the times that surround us.
My question is for Zoya. I don't think I need a mic. Zoya, you're big into aesthetics. Have you had a chance to explore our beautiful city? And would you film here? I'm not sure if you know, but Victoria has the largest population of Indians as a migrant population. Would you consider filming here?
I would love to film here. I've actually, we kick-started our careers with my brother's film Dil Chahta Hai in Australia. So it's come full circle with me sitting here now, and I would absolutely love to film here. I've traveled extensively on the East Coast here, and this is my second time to Melbourne. And I was speaking earlier with Mr. Foley and figuring out if there's some way we can collaborate. I would love to film here. Thank you, sir.
Question for Shah Rukh. How can Bollywood and Victoria work together to maximize the audience reach?
Indira, I think one of the questions the lady asked before, being able to come here and now, I've heard there's a Indian Film Fund, and obviously there's going to be a lot of collaboration. I've shot here for 55 days, so I know how wonderful Victoria and Melbourne and most of Australia have shot in Sydney also, and I'm sure lots of people here have also shot here. And I think just the opportunity, that to come down here, my request, and I'm sure all the filmmakers here would understand that, is to set a film because of the place that it is in, not just to come and do songs and dances. I think make the place, the city, the country, an inherent part of the storytelling, like Karan and Zoya have done in this cinema before. And I think that's important. And when you have this kind of cross overs or cross-cultural tie-ins, and I also think one of the good things about streaming platforms is we've started now seeing and watching films with subtitles, and we're becoming used to it. So I think the language barrier is also kind of moving away. So just this collaborative effort that starts here. It's a lovely city, and so many Indians here. The younger ones, of course, I'm sure, enjoying the new kind of cinema that all these wonderful filmmakers on the dais bring before. And then the older ones, okay, there is no older person here, but her parents back home. It's strange, I nowadays find myself the oldest in the room, so. All those people attached to India, the nostalgia, I think that itself will lend to crossover cinema, people getting together, watching together, and I think Indian cinema will, inshallah, be watched everywhere else, and specifically because the language barrier, because of the way we have started watching films, reading subtitles as second nature, is really going to help a lot.
We have time for 3 more questions, so just something to talk about. Natasha.
Shah Rukh, I'm going to know about your next projects, and also what drives you to your film.
Same thing with me, Natasha. I'm so keen to know my next project myself. Every morning I'm waking up with this. Somebody will tell me. So I don't know what I'm doing. I just, I finished the last film that I made, and just to put it lightly, it was a disaster. And I felt really bad and very sad. And I'm not mourning, but I just thought, let me enjoy a little bit of unsuccess. I've enjoyed success for so long. So I've taken some time off, and I'm, as a matter of fact, I think one of these breaks, coming here, meeting people, just realizing and kind of rediscovering new stories to tell, new things to do, and just intellectually speaking, the next film that I'm looking forward to is the one with 8 packs, and do some fighting like Vijay does. I just want to say, I don't know how to do this, but I really want to compliment you. You're one of the most wonderful actors I've seen in my life. I'm so happy to see you asked my team when I was driving here. I have a little difficulty saying names. So I'm like, Sethupathi hoga, wahan pe Sethupathi hoga. It's so wonderful. Just to, share this, sit with wonderful actors and directors. Tabu's here. I think it will rub off some good cinema, and inshallah I'll be able to do it. But I'm working on just some, no, really, yeah. I've been telling Tabu to rub against me for a long time now. So, no, this is out of love. Please don't hold me for, being mean to or robbing women. Yeah. So no, I'm just spending time and, hearing stories, and inshallah, in the next 4 or 5 months I'll figure out a story to tell. And what drives me is just people around me who are doing such a great cinema. And I think I have a huge amount of capacity to do some really good cinema. I have, I think, 20-25 years of good cinema left in me. So I want to try that and spend time with the kids, learn new things.
Okay, last 2 questions.
My question is to Mr. Shah Rukh. Many Bollywood stars have appeared in Malayalam movies, but have you have any plans to appear in a Malayalam movie in the near future?
I would love to. I think they make great cinema. But I remember, the standing joke, Tamil joke between me and Tabu is Appa Tupaki. The only word I know. Because some actors are really wonderful. They learn dialects and can do languages very quickly. I'm on the opposite spectrum. I just about get Hindi and English right. So it's very difficult for me to act in the language. So I've been asking all the great filmmakers and actors, in a movie, if I don't have to say anything, I'll do very well. Even today, after how many years is it? Tabu only, and me and Tabu, our only word from the South language is Appa Tupaki.
Tell her why. How did you learn these words?
So I was shooting a film called Hey Ram, the great Mr. Kamal Hassan, and he told me that I don't have to dub for the film. So which made me realize that, okay, I'll just go and say it, and then, somebody will dub the film for me. When I landed on the set, it was one of the first films to be shot on location. So there was no dubbing because I had to say the dialogues actually, and they would not be dubbed after that. And so I was playing is it, can I take 2 minutes and say this?
Yes.
So I was playing a Pathan or, some such. So in my amazing overacting way, I came onto the set and, "Oi, Pooja, unka bacha, kya karte? Tu mera bacha, gadi ko lagna yahan pe." So I did this amazing Zanjeer Pran Saab acting, of Pathan and robust friend. And then suddenly he said, "Now you have to say this in Tamil." And this whole thing, I didn't know how to say, "Kuche ka bacha." I didn't know how to say that only. And he said, afterwards, the first dialogue that was given to me was, "Oh, gun?" Or does it mean, "What, gun?" And 42 takes, and I kept on saying, so I would say, "Appa Tupaki." And then Kamal sir would say, "No, once more. Appa Tupaki." Appa Tupaki. I tried everything. And he told me this is some different dialect and I can't get it right. And so my life in the South cinema centers around these two words, Appa Tupaki. As soon as I learn the third one, I'm sure I will again go out and... Appa Tupaki means what? Gun? Am I right?
No.
No, sorry. Don't break my heart.
No, I'm wrong. No.
I got wrong.
Appa, you can say like pa, like that.
Pa?
Yeah.
It's an exclamation.
No, it's exclamation. It's like a yeah.
Gun? Appa.
Appa, you can. Dad also they call Appa.
Appa is dad.
Dad.
So pa is the
expression.
the
Pa is that.
Tupaki.
Paki.
So now that you understand where my future in Malayalam cinema lies, but to tell you honestly, whenever I've seen cinema or heard how they make it, and extremely fast at that, that's something really to learn from. And I think Priyan sir would be part of relations. Yeah. So I think yes, I would love to participate in it, but chances बहुत कम लग रहे मेरे.
You were nearly there in 1998, to act in one of the movies.
Okay, sorry.
I was in a movie. I don't know about it. Oh, okay.
Okay, last question, Vasuki from SBS.
Hi, I'm Vasuki from SBS Radio. It's the only multicultural public broadcaster in Australia. My question is to anybody on this podium except for Minister Kohli.
I'm very impressed.
Yes. Any comments on what has happened on Monday on Kashmir? Any comment from any of you?
I just want to say that, we are a film festival, and like all film festivals, we want to bring everyone together, and arts and cinema has to be used as a cultural bridge. I don't think this is the platform for something like this, so we would like to move on from that. Is there anybody else for a last question?
Even though you didn't ask me to comment, as the host, we recognise that this is a difficult issue for some in our community. But by the same token, what happens in India and Kashmir is an issue for the Indian Kashmiri people and the Indian government. And all we would say, if that becomes an issue at the festival, we respect people's rights. We respect people's rights to have their voice heard. We just ask that it be done in a respectful and democratic and peaceful way. And what we're focusing on over the next 10 days is the power of cinema and screen to lift us above a lot of the divisions in our world, and the unifying element that screen that we've particularly seen on the subcontinent can do to bring people and communities together. And to our line of thinking, that is one of the real benefits of now 10 years worth of investment in Indian Film Festival in Melbourne.
After seeing all the stars, my reaction is Puggy. By the way, I'm Puneet from Radio Hanji. So, congratulations for all the hit films, Zoya for Gully Boy, Zero, and Super Deluxe, and Rima for you, India's most wanted. And I would like to ask questions to Ajit sir and to Ram sir about Andhadhun. How much time it took to launch the trailer of Andhadhun? Because I heard there was some cute fights between Y comedy and then between directors and cast. How come you decided that this trailer will be launched?
Cute fights. Let them sound. We had tremendous fun while making the film, and as you saw from the film itself, the film finds itself into an end which is not usual for Indian cinema, and we were experimenting with a new kind of writing, a new kind of filmmaking in this, and there were discussions on how was the best way to put it out, and I think that's what you're referring to. We had a great time in terms of exploring all the possible options. And I think finally the choice that we zeroed around was completely vindicated in terms of the kind of response we got from the trailer. And I think ultimately that's what every filmmaker aspires for. That's all that happened. The rest is Andhadhun speculation.
Okay, I just add a little bit. What happened is we are not cute, we had fights. Fights. Because basically they want to give away a lot of spoilers in the trailer which I was referring. But why I'm saying this is because when the film was released in China, I saw the trailer, Chinese trailer, which was giving the same spoiler. And I said, oh my God, they're doing the same thing. But it did 4 times. I had no control, of course, there. No fights there. So they did 4 times the business, So I don't know.
Just last one question. Last one. Hollywood, Bollywood, they've come from very far. Yeah. They're a very popular online blog.
We're just starting out. But I'd like to thank everybody for coming here. It's a great opportunity to see all of you here. My question would be to Shah Rukh, sorry to everyone else. Simple question. You made a movie for the fan. Would you ever make a movie by the fan? And my context of asking is, she did mention that you're looking for new projects. If your project didn't come from, let's say, a big movie house, but it's a script for you, made by a fan, would you ever consider doing it? Let's say Karan was the director.
No, actually, the way the gentleman is dressed next to you, I really thought was Karan Johar. When I walked in, I said, Karan, where are you If he writes it, no, Karan.
Even by my standards, that's a bit much. Well, are very unique to some. It's wonderful to have this kind of color and glamour in our proceedings. Thank you.
But yeah, see, you go to a director.
He's saying that a fan will write the film and I'll direct it.
I'll try to do is, I'll take the money, get everyone to say a few words about the Melbourne Film Festival. Please say how happy you
are to be here. Yeah, I prepared a really long speech, but in honor of brevity and everything has been said by Mr. Khan, and put far more charmingly than I had. So I'll just pass it on to Oner, and thank you all for having us. Thank you, Mitu. Thank you, Honorable Minister Fodi. I was going to say Governor or something, but I don't want to put my foot in it. So yeah, so it's great having you all here. Yeah, I haven't seen such a big turnout for one of my films. But
thank you, Mitu, and hope you all enjoyed 10 years of the festival. Thank you.
Thank you, Mitu, and thank you all for having us here. I'm really looking forward to next 1 week in Melbourne.
we quickly criticize something.
Thank you. So honored to be here. Thank you.
Just to more cute fights and cute festivals.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to this.
I would actually like to answer that question about what happened in Kashmir. And I wanted to say that what happened, the very point that you asked us here, and the very point that we are all silent about it, says a lot about it. And we South, we have strongly opposed that politically. And I think it's very important. And the very idea of sending troops before that, shutting down schools, colleges, these say a lot about government's move. And it's not new to us because this has been happening for the past 6 years. So yeah, I don't know if that answered the question, but I think I did.
Okay, since the theme is correct, I think kudos to you for making super dealers and speaking up now. And this is our first time here. Hopefully we come more number of times. Happy to be here.
So please sign the film quickly. That is the most important part of this press conference. We are all your fans and we want you to do a film now, literally. I think that's the biggest take home of this press conference. But no, I love you, Mitu. Thank you for having me here. This is my first time properly in Australia, and I can see that why our films do well, why our films are appreciated, and why we have so many amazing reasons to keep coming back and, like Minister Foley said, to collaborate more often. So I can look forward to shooting here soon, but thank you for the love, and let the love keep flowing for the festival as well.
Thank you Mitu so much for having me here and Bulbul Singh opening night film. And also thank you so much Shah Rukh sir. And it's all over the news that Shah Rukh Khan is going to present Bulbul Singh the opening night, and lots of love from Assam. They are very excited. I'm sending lots of love to you. Thank you.
Sorry, not to interrupt. Just on a side note, we have another Assamese film made by Jhan Barua, and all the proceedings from that film will be going for the Assam floods relief. So please do support that screening as well. Thank you. So we won't have Shah Rukh Khan in that screening, but please do support that screening.
Mitu, thank you for creating this platform. I mean, it's promoting inclusiveness, it's promoting diversity, and you have got India to have a new market and to be here and to show our work. So thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
It's my first visit to Australia and Melbourne, so I've just spent a day here. Thank you so much. I look forward to coming here again and shooting here.
It's my first time to Australia also. Thanks, it's been great. I hope it continues to be as great as it was yesterday. Sorry for sending you late. I was waiting for you to wake me up actually.
For me also, first to Australia and Melbourne. Thank you so much. Thanks to Manoj. Thanks so much.
Sorry, I did this because I think all of us should speak to all of you. We all want to speak with you, and it's such a diverse group of people who've come here, and all these people give some wonderful cinema, lovely stories to tell. Sometimes go right, sometimes go wrong, and all of them know from the bottom of their hearts wanted to thank you for all the support that you give to all kinds of cinema that comes from India. So, thank you very much.
That brings us to the end of the press conference. I would like to thank a few people without whom none of this would be possible. Our principal partner, Film Victoria, Hoyts, PwC, Telstra, Manhari Metals, Visit Victoria, Singapore Airlines, Black Magic Design. By the way, the best indie film and the best film get state-of-the-art from from Black Magic Design and also the short film competition winners. City of Melbourne, La Trobe University, South Asia Times, Intersage, Good India, Radio Hanji, Filming, Triple R, ACTA, Tarana Radio and SNJ Media Group. Thank you so much all for all the support that you have given. 10 years would not have been possible without you. Thank you all our wonderful guests, most of whom have arrived last night and been here with us this morning. Thank you, lots of love. Please enjoy the festival. Thank you.
It's still on IFFM. Yeah, they don't keep up.
Sally? Sally, I need to